Good morning and welcome to Steph's Kitchen Adventures, and it's a real adventure this morning because it's something I've never cooked before, and it's a buckwheat porridge with various additions and accoutrements. And it starts off with some cooked buckwheat. It's about 200 grams in the pan, and it started off as 100 grams of uncooked buckwheat. So I've cooked that. You can find how to do that online, I'm sure. I'm going to add to that 400 mils of, this is cashew milk, but any milk that you like. There's 400 grams there. I'm going to put this on the heat and bring this up to a simmer. I'm just going to stir, pan, move these to the side. Get that going. Meanwhile, I'm going to add some vanilla extract. I've got a little bit left in my bottle there. I'm going to add some honey. Got some forest honey here. It says about 2 teaspoons in the recipe. This is a Melissa Hemsley recipe I'm trying. It says 2 teaspoons. I'm going to put just under a tablespoon of honey in there. And I've also got some coconut butter in the bottom of a jar here. I'm going to add this as well. It goes very solid. If it's cool, when the heat, it gets loose. So I'm going to put some coconut butter in here as well. You can add butter or nut butter. I'm saving the nut butter till later. Meanwhile, let's see if I can dispense with some of these spoons. So that's my coconut butter spoon. Put over here. And that's my honey spoon. So that's in the pan, cashew milk, some quinoa. Did I say buckwheat? You can use buckwheat or quinoa. This is actually quinoa. So yeah, I started with 100 grams of quinoa. This is mixed colour, so it's red and white. And I've got in there quinoa, cashew milk, honey, coconut butter and vanilla extract. I'm just bringing that up to the heat before I bring it to a simmer. And I'm going to let it cook for 4 minutes. Let's see how this goes. Turn it up to max and let all that honey melt and the coconut butter melt into that. I've never made porridge with quinoa before. I first experienced quinoa with quinoa bars, which are protein bars, in Peru, if I'm going to name drop. So that's where quinoa actually comes from. And I don't know what we're doing to the nation's quantity of quinoa, because we're eating quite a lot of it over here. Perhaps there's not as much as we did, but the good thing about quinoa is it looks like a carb, but it's actually a protein. I think it's got both in, but in the interests of low carb, higher protein, and being economical as well, this works out in all directions really. So that's still coming to the heat. To this, I've got ready a couple of bowls of blueberries that I've just taken out of the freezer. So I'll be putting the quinoa porridge on the top of those. I've also got some stewed apple, which I'm going to add later, as well as some hazelnuts chopped, toasted and chopped, and some dried apricots and medjool dates, which I've chopped and soaked in some diluted elderflower cordial overnight. So that's another topping. I've also got some spices and some cashew nut butter, just ends of jars of things I'm adding this morning. So this I can hear is coming up to the heat now, and then I'm going to let it cook for 4 minutes. Just wait till I can get to the point where I can turn it down. I can see it's starting to turn quite creamy now. And watch pot never boils, so while it thinks about it, I'm just going to add some banana to our bowls. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that now, it's really sort of creamy, going really creamy. So that's absorbing the milk. And I think you can sort of get the picture from what I'm doing. That's going to cook down for 4 minutes. I'm just going to reduce the heat to probably about 3, put the lid on and wait for that to cook through. Just keep an eye on the time, it's 7:44, so that'll be ready at 7:48. So I can add all my toppings. One of the spices I've got here I'm going to add is some turmeric, and another one is some cinnamon, and as I say, a little bit of nut butter. I've got a little bit of nut butter left in the jar. That's the Carly's cashew nut butter. So I won't keep you for today. You sort of get the idea of how that's going to work. Hopefully with all the different toppings and everything, it should be a lovely high protein and lots of plant points breakfast. So thanks for joining me today. See you soon.